Return to Neverland, Captain Hook, Peter Pan, Tinkerbell, Mr. Smee and his crew all return apart from Tock. Where was Tock? Apparently, after the end of the first film, Tock lost track of the captain and gave up after the chase and went and swam somewhere else and got lost. So, in the sequel, he was replaced by a bloody gigantic orange blob of an octopus. An octopus. This is a real thing, people. I'm not making it up. Why an octopus? This is beyond me. Anyway, after Captain Hook kidnaps Wendy's daughter Jane, which is a new character that we've never seen before. So, this is like after far in the future after the events of the first film, so Wendy's all grown up. Captain Hook kidnaps her daughter Jane, and who doesn't believe in stories or fairies or pirates. So Captain Hook kidnaps her and takes her to Neverland, and uses her as bait for the octopus. So Peter Pan, thinking that Jane is like Wendy, because everybody here thinks like Jane is Wendy, obviously. Peter Pan goes after her. Captain Hook is Mr. Smee and his crew is like all celebrating, and they're like joking around and everything, because they think, oh, they finally got rid of Peter Pan for good. But no. Peter Pan, along with Jane in a sack and Tinkerbell, reappear from the surface, and then suddenly Tinkerbell summons a big gigantic octopus. So the octopus is like rising out of the water with pixie dust, and the octopus lands on top of Captain Hook, pulls his breeches down, revealing his underwear. And the octopus tries again, and this time drags Captain Hook off the end of the plank. Captain Hook manages to survive this encounter, which angers him, obviously, and orders me to fix the plank, otherwise he'll end up walking it next. Bruce ends up appearing again, and Mr. Smee happens to be giving Hook a massage, and then the octopus hears Hook scream, "Smee! Coming, Captain!" And the octopus hears this and starts swimming to the ship, while his like tentacles are like popping like the ticking clock, which is inside of Tock, which is they were mimicking. Suddenly Hook hears a familiar, another familiar sound coming from the water. Hears the octopus's popping tentacles, and then, much like from the first film, Hook orders Smee to save him again. This time Hook flees up a nearby mast in order to get away. And Hook is angered by this encounter and orders Smee to order the other pirates to kill Peter Pan. He is angered by this encounter so much, it drove him to actually hatch another plan to kill off Peter. This time, Hook and his crew, Peter Pan and Mr. Smee, end up in another battle. Final battle. And now Tinkerbell crawls inside of what I think Hook's coat and trying to steal the whistle that's round Hook's neck. And Mr. Smee tries to save Captain Hook from a fucking fairy. Literally puts his cap on top of Captain's head, blinding him, and accidentally bonks Captain Hook over the head because, Tinkerbell is inside of his Mr. Smee's hat, which is also on Captain Hook's head. And then Captain collapses and presumably dies, but he isn't dead, obviously. But he's unconscious. And then he wakes up and he's like, I've had enough of your childish games. And then he's because he's pissed off. And then, suddenly, Blay, pins Jane to, the mast. Peter Pan throws his dagger, and then Captain Hook is sent plummeting to his death. And then Peter Pan also throws an anchor at him, causing him to fall further to his death. And, falls through dozens of, decks through the ship. And ends up falling on top of the octopus's head. And now the octopus wakes up and starts attacking Hook, and the ship is sinking, so the lost boys abandon ship! End up abandoning the ship because, the octopus is attacking Hook, and the ship is sinking, and the octopus drags the ship under along and grabs Hook with it, but then Hook obviously survives this and then ends up flying through the air and landing on Mr. Smee's rowing boat. And Mr. Smee and the crew are all on board that one little tiny boat. And there's apparently room left for Captain Hook. And then, the octopus sees them and mistakes them for codfish and chases them off from Neverland.